I guess he's been trying to turn it around, is Donald Trump says that Obama is waging a war against Christians in this country. I thought that was like the harshest thing I've actually heard about Obama. I don't think it's fair, but it was pretty aggressive in a response.
But there's a lot of people in this country that do feel that there has been, unfair, treatment of Christians. There's been statements that the president has made that has really been cause for alarm when he's addressed groups, and the way he's talked about Christians and the holy wars and all of that, saying that liking it to what some of these like radical terrorists have done about religious extremism, showing the parallel between the two. As far as Trump's concerned with respect to this, I think that to me seems like a complete plant. It was a setup. Yeah. It just sounds fake,
it's a joke,
and phony,
right?
And ridiculous.
It's almost comical the way that was delivered.
He had an opportunity to go ahead and just handle it and correct the record, et cetera, and say, listen, don't talk like that about the President of the United States. But then the guy said, well, my question actually is. So then he answered the question. It was, you've got to be so on your A game every second at this point, because especially when you're a front runner, this just goes to show you've got to be on top.
I'm not sure it was a plan. I mean, maybe it was a joke. It wasn't. But if you actually, if you've seen
whether it was or wasn't, you got to respond.
The online support for Donald Trump and the whole conservative movement, all of that stuff. Actually, this is repeating things that you see online all the time.
But I mean, these both things can be be true,
yes,
but be different in the fact it could be it whether it's a plant or not. He had to be able to respond it.
Right.
So why was he incapable of responding it? One, he got comfortable around people who agree with him.
Yep.
He's a pundit as a candidate, so there's no need for policy. And he doesn't feel comfortable denigrating a fan. As a pundit, you don't fans because they might buy your books. So he was up there more as a pundit than the way John McCain was when he shut down that elderly woman who said the same thing. And this incident, in my opinion, is a microcosm of how we deal with our own fringe elements, whether on the left or the right. We are scared to shut them up, even though at times we encourage them. Hillary started the birther movement. We have people who have voiced similar sentiments and changed their minds. Trump had a moment there to say, I once believed this. Having done more research, I changed my mind.
Exactly.
But he lacks the guardrails of criticism. There aren't people telling him.
Isn't that what is putting him in first place?
Yeah, warts and all. It's warts and all.
I spent a half hour.
Go after the
then
warts.
why would you cancel your opportunity to spread it today? I thought that's what everyone loved about him, is that he wasn't afraid.
Now everyone's talking about it.
I spoke with Eric Trump for a half hour today. For a half hour, Eric Trump said nothing about a plant. Eric Trump said his dad, who he adores and whose campaign he believes is going full steam ahead, he thinks that his dad handled it fairly well in dismissing it.
That's surprising.
That was Eric Trump's take on it, and that was at 11:30 today. No, but I'm saying, Greg, is that they had no allegation that it was a plant. When I said Howard Stern, that was a joke.
But it's not, the plant thing is irrelevant.
It's not a plant. It's a guy who likes Donald Trump.
Yeah, but guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was someone who really thought that, believed it, showed up, and voiced it, or if it was somebody that came in to try and get a gotcha thing with him and get him in trouble. Regardless, you address it in the same way. You handle it.
Agreed.
You make the statement, you correct the record, you move on, and you answer the last part of the question.
Let me just show